Welcome, one and all. It is a Monday night, and it is a very exciting Monday night. It is a NBA playoff Monday night. We got ourselves baseball Monday night, and most importantly, we got a drink in our hands, and we're going to talk about sports with our friends Monday night. Welcome to the regulars. I'm Cody Decker.
I'm Tanya Ray Fox.
Ooh.
This is my last. This is our last show in studio for a minute, Cody.
Last show in studio for at least 2 weeks.
Yeah, so we're doing the show
remote on Friday.
We're doing the show remote on Friday. I'm going to do it from Andrea's house, so she might pop in, say
Mama
hi.
Fox.
Mama Fox might pop in, say hi. And then we're dark next week, all next week.
Which is inadvertently a really good thing for me because
It's really kismet.
It is. By the way, this was not planned this way. We actually planned to be dark this particular week, and I didn't even know about the launch of the Fan LA being May 18th until a week and a half ago. So this was just kind of all worked out quite well because, frankly, Daddy needs to get some sleep.
Yeah.
I have. It'll be my first week officially doing the full 4 a.m. schedule, even though I've been doing it this week and last week, but my first time going live. So it's going to be a good thing. I think this is best for all. You're going back home and then to Florida.
Going back home, then taking my mom and my sister to Disney World.
Grow up.
Mama Fox, you can tell her that she's lame because she's an annual pass
Slow
holder.
down. I said you were lame. Mama Fox could never be lame in a day in her life. You being a Disney adult is embarrassing.
I'm not.
Mama
I'm
Fox
not.
being a Disney adult, adorbs.
You can ask her. I'm not a Disney adult. I have. So Chris we can get into Disney and Disneyland whatever for free
because of his
job. So we can go whenever. And for a while we were going to Disneyland a couple times a year. Like we would take friends and stuff.
Yeah.
I just got so sick of it. Like it's just not. I can't repeatedly do it. I haven't been at Disney World since 2013.
I've only been once. I've only been to Disney World once.
I grew up
I will admit I was fairly disappointed in Disney World.
Oh really?
No, well, here's why. I grew up in Disneyland, and I know why people at Disney World go to Disneyland. Like, oh, this is disappointing.
Right.
It's the exact opposite.
That's
I
funny.
find Disney World to be so overly big, so overly too many weird attractions that have nothing to do with anything.
Okay.
And then you can't get it all done in a day. I hate that.
You don't like that?
Hate that.
Well, you can't. I mean, you can barely get Disneyland done in a day anymore.
But you can. But you can.
You can't really.
But you can.
You really need at least 2 days.
But you can, though.
I just don't want to mislead our people. So it's funny because one of the Disney World people I talked to was like, oh, we're going to Disneyland for the first time. And she was like, everybody tells me the vibe is different, but they can't explain what it is. Just like the vibe of the parks itself. I'm like, yeah, I don't really know what it is. It's not just the smallerness of it. Like, it's just, I think it's just being in California.
It's just
but
different.
yeah, I'm excited to do it. It's the
Yeah.
first time me and my sisters and my mom have gone on a trip all together, just the four of us.
That's
like
nice.
in, I don't know,
Not bad.
15 years.
My mom's out traveling like all of East Asia right now.
Yeah,
Like,
you just got a call from
beach
her
hopping.
in Cambodia or
Wherever she is. She might be in Laos. She hasn't really told me.
So, and nor does she need to. Terry does her own thing. So
I just need her to come back alive and stop being reckless when she travels. That's all I ask, and
That's not
I
gonna stop.
will not be getting what I ask
Yeah,
for.
no.
But we got plenty to cover. We got plenty to talk about today. Let's just get right over to it. Let's go to headline number one. Tanya, NBA playoffs in full swing, and our boy Wemby got himself into some hot water.
He sure did. He avoided suspension after
Congratulations, Wemby.
Yep. After being ejected for a wild elbow to Naz Reid in their game 4 against the Timberwolves.
It was an elbow. Should we go do the video real quick?
I think before we launch into it, let's just show everybody the video if you want to go for that, Mocha, so you guys can see this. I mean, so
yeah, that was an elbow to the face.
this is not someone who's known for being a dirty player.
Not even a little, in fact. I'm actually almost impressed by this. This is the first time I've ever actually seen him defend himself, really.
Watching it one more time. Oh my God.
And by the way, it's funny, the dichotomy between that and, of course, the play that, I don't know if you saw Dennis Schroeder the other day, who acted as though he was halfly decapitated mid-game from a no contact whatsoever and him taking a 19 trifecta backflip dive. That was not a dive. That was...
No,
That was a
so here's
shot
the
to
thing.
neck.
It was absolutely an ejection-worthy call.
It was.
He was ejected, and it cost his team because now the Spurs and Timberwolves are tied 2-2 in the series.
Yes.
And boy, I have to say, but before we finish talking about this, the Spurs and that Popovich defense that they still run, that defensive system that they still run.
Yeah.
Pop is obviously still involved with the team. This is a Pop coach. It's still his system. It's insane. To watch them play defense at the end of a game and how they were able to like box out this is a very dynamic, very athletic Wolves team. And they were having to call times out. They were having to throw Hail Marys down the court. They could not get the ball out of their own end. It was really, really like a fascinating game to watch. But Wemby not being there is a big deal. So here's what I kind of want to ask you about is he avoided suspension. There are plenty of situations where this would have resulted in a suspension.
Yes.
A lot of people thought that it might.
Mm-hmm.
There's in one of the pieces that I was reading about it, they said, the big argument is that he wasn't being protected. He was really being manhandled out there.
And he was,
clearly
by the way.
hit a point of frustration. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this. Do you think he should have been suspended?
No.
And give me your reason why. Because
you want my actual reason?
Yeah,
why?
I want to know why you think he shouldn't have been suspended.
One elbow in a game to me does not justify suspending arguably the biggest superstar currently in the league.
Right.
And I am sorry I had to throw that.
He doesn't have a history of it.
He doesn't have a history of it, and I'm sorry to throw that caveat at the end. He is one of the biggest young superstars in the league.
Right.
You got to give me a real reason to pull the cat.
Do you think that the physicality itself was something that it was almost like in considering a suspension, you have to consider whether or not he was receiving a certain amount of physicality?
He was, by the way, getting manhandled that entire game.
Yeah.
So I was actually kind of impressed with the no calls, but at some point the guy's got to do something to protect himself, and that's what he did. Now, did he go too far? Yeah.
Nobody's arguing.
That's a hell of an elbow.
Very few people have argued that.
That's a hell of an elbow.
It was and he genuinely, and I am not one of these people I don't think this was ever Wemby's intention. He's actually a really great dude.
Yeah.
But you have to be so careful. Though you hit the wrong part of somebody's head with an elbow going like that, with the kind of torque that a guy like that size can get with an elbow, like you cannot be doing it. Like it's really, really dangerous. Yeah, headshots are so dangerous in every single sport. And people think, oh, it's an elbow. It's not the same as anything. It is actually really bad. So I'm glad that he avoided a suspension. I agree. I do think that the level of physicality that he's facing, I think it's not a great sign that he got so frustrated that he got himself ejected and that he endangered Naz Reid, which he did do. Because,
he did both of
listen
these
to
things.
this, because I want to know what you think. This is my theory: is that this is a 7'6" NBA player. He's unguardable. You are going to face unprecedented levels of physicality. It's the only way to defend you. And I'm not interested in watching a league that's going to let Wembanyama do whatever he wants, or frankly, is going to let Wembanyama get treated the way other players get treated. He's going to have to put up with some more physicality and some more obvious fouls that they're going to have to let slide if we want this game to be evened out. He is just physically so imposing. And granted, he doesn't have the mass of somebody like Shaq, but he's 7'6" or whatever the hell. Is that he's so goddamn tall. It's actually kind of like when you see him against somebody like Rudy Gobert and it's the size is so different. He's gonna take some physicality that is above and beyond what other players face, and I actually think that's reasonable. And I think the refs swallowing their whistles is the only way to play it.
I agree with you to a point. I understand what you're saying, but also then what's the point of getting your hands on the alien if the alien can't be the alien?
He can.
But if we're going to say, well, he's got to deal with a certain amount of physicality that others don't, or else it's not equal. It's not supposed to be equalized. He's supposed to be one-of-one. He's supposed to be that unicorn. I mean, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
I trust me. I hear what you're saying. Letting Wemby just run roughshod doesn't sound all that appealing to me. It sounds like a different equivalent of a bunch of guys throwing up threes. If you're just letting Wemby cherry pick at the corner and just go ahead and put balls in the bucket. I get that. But also, I mean, I'm having a little bit of trouble with the entire idea of, we have to swallow the whistle a little bit more on Wemby because he's so big. I mean, you call the game.
Yeah,
I hear what you're saying, but I also think.
But if you're maybe if you're playing it like if you're just swallowing the whistles across the board, right?
That's a different conversation.
Yeah, because I think that's what the Wolves. I think that's what that officiating crew was doing. Was they were like, if we call this game heavy, this is going to be a foul-heavy game because Wemby's going to get fouled a lot.
Yes.
So what they decided to do was say, like, we're just not going to call them as many of them across the board.
But then
Now,
you better
that
play
can-
as physical on your end of the ball too. That's just a fact.
And so that opens things up for Wemby as well. But I agree that you can't necessarily target him specifically, because I don't like when they do that too, when they decide like, oh, well, they've done this in football a lot, where if you have a quarterback, especially they do it, I mean, they don't do it to white quarterbacks, but they do it to black quarterbacks.
Yes, they do.
Where they don't call them for certain penalties or whatever, like Cam Newton getting absolutely blasted all the time, never getting a roughing the passer call. And they're like, well, he's 6'5" and 260 or whatever. And it's like,
doesn't matter.
He's still getting a headshot.
Yeah, no, it's you can't.
know.
That's where I draw the line. I do hear what you're saying.
Cam Newton wasn't endangering edge rushers, right? Like
No, I agree.
He is in a defensive spot. Wemby is in a spot to be offensively dangerous to other players, like in terms of what he's doing. So I just thought that was an interesting situation. I'm glad he wasn't suspended. I think
too.
it would have been a really if the Spurs lose that game and Wemby's suspended, now we've got a whole conversation I don't want to have.
We got a big problem. But
Right.
then again, listen, they got under his skin. They need to learn to play just as physical. Wemby needs to compose himself. I also found it kind of charming that Wemby had no idea that he could be injected for a flagrant 2. So the surprise on his face that he got ejected, which by the way has never happened before to him ever, which is why the look on his face is like, oh, wait, I'm ejected, was somewhat adorable.
Yeah, I mean, he is adorable, and that's why it's so scary when he goes on the offense.
Yeah.
I wanted to hit on a quick little media corner interjection regarding this because there was a lot of praise from how Mike Tirico called this, and I noticed this as well. Is that during the ejection, he said, this is a problem for the Spurs, and Reggie says, oh, the foul might be upgraded to a flagrant 1. And Tirico immediately interjected and said, there's a possibility that's a 2.
Yeah.
And he, continued on. And as they were doing the replay, continued to talk through it. He said, there's no way Wembanyama, like a lot of people in this spot will say, oh, there's no way that he's going to get ejected, or they'll be quick to complain about how long the actual replays are. And he didn't. He was really, really good at filling the time. And I just think that there are times where you and I get very down on where broadcasting and things are. And Tirico is such a gem.
Yeah, it's great.
Him back in calling basketball is awesome. And his ability to say, like, I'm gonna call this like I see it. And no hate to Reggie Miller, but like, this is what we need, is we need these kinds of broadcasters who are willing in these spots to say like, no, I know what we're looking at here. And a lot of times you listen and it feels directionless. I just thought he did a great job and he deserved a shout out on that front.
Nailed it. And he did nail it, and he was right. It ended up becoming a flagrant 2. And listen, it's going to be a very interesting series. I appreciated what the Spurs head coach said, talking about that he needs to defend himself. But like on the flip side, now, I'm not trying to say that NBA players are not tough. We know they're tough. All NBA players are tough. I also understand the diving culture that we currently live in the game. I understand it as well. I don't like it, but I do understand it.
Yeah.
But if we're going to have basketball where refs are swallowing the whistle a little bit, which, by the way, I'm all for.
I'd love to do that against the Thunder.
I would love to see some.
Swallow it against Shea, please.
I would really love to see this happen. I would love to see it. But don't you want, how do I put this? Get some goons. Get enforcers. Get guys that will protect your Wembys, that will protect your SGAs, so they can do their thing. Just like old school hockey.
Well, that's the problem with these roster sizes is like, your depth, like you need people once you're in the playoffs, you don't have room for like some big center to like get walloped and get foul out. That'd be great if they did. I mean, I guess if you managed it correctly, the Spurs could be capable of doing that. But that might be what it comes down to. It might be that you have to get a goon in there.
Yeah.
As far as the playoff news this weekend.
Hold on, one person on Instagram said he should be suspended 1 game, period. He was. It was the game he was in.
Yeah, I think if I understand, and I do get it. But the fact that he missed so much of that game,
Which is probably why
they took it into
happened.
consideration.
Yeah.
They took it into consideration when they decided not to. Next time this happens,
no, it'll be a suspension.
Yeah,
he's getting the game he got,
now
and only that off of good behavior.
Off of good behavior and just like general demeanor. If this was anybody if this is anybody with a history, or even somebody without a history, but just genuinely isn't as liked. Like that's the way the cookie crumbles in these leagues. I don't
like if
always
it was
love
my
it, but
favorite comedian, Draymond Green, because he's hilarious.
we'll be talking about that later.
Oh, no. Favorite comedian. You see the joke he pulled on Chuck? What a card. What a character.
Chuck served him his ass.
Didn't even need to serve him his ass. He served his own ass to himself because Draymond
Served his own ass to himself.
just with a side of his own ass. Loved it.
As far as the rest of the playoff news, where do the 76ers go from here after
Nowhere.
being swept from the Knicks? Because this
They
is
shouldn't
like
have been here to begin with.
but that's the thing is like they think they're gonna have this big three with Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid. On the surface, flawed, sure, but maybe it works.
Embiid can't stay healthy. Paul George can't stay healthy, and he's gotten older. And Maxey's amazing.
Yeah, Maxey's amazing. And like that, their idea was that you build around this big three. They have like everybody's been overestimating Paul George's value forever. I don't know why this happens with certain players, but people keep doing this. And whenever a team decides to do something this, like you have to round out the roster on role players. That's how we do it. That's what ended up happening to the Celtics was like, they were like, oh, we're not going to round out the roster with a bunch of role players we don't need for a dead season. And they went further than they were supposed to, but the Knicks were supposed to be contending. And I just feel like getting rid of Jared McCain and like making these decisions, like we talk all the time about, is it this person's time to end it with the team? Is it over with this person's era with the team? People are constantly trying to break up Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. What about Embiid, dude? Like, I know he's an MVP caliber player when he's healthy. I know he has an MVP. I know how goddamn good he is. But like,
It doesn't matter.
He's looking like he might have to retire.
No, he's gonna retire.
Do you think he's going to?
At some point pretty soon.
Yeah, but like
his body doesn't hold
What
up.
I'm saying is do you keep him on? What do you
For
do
what?
if you're the Sixers?
If you're the Sixers, do anything you can to salvage the situation. That's just it.
Which is get rid of Embiid?
Possibly get whatever you can for him. He's spare parts at this part. It sucks to say, but are we pretending he's not?
Do you send
flat
him
out is.
You send him to Washington or Charlotte or somewhere
Somewhere.
that's got like a young core that they're building around.
Maybe, or maybe he could be a piece for a team that is contending that maybe they don't need him full. Kind of like Porzingis was in Boston.
Yeah.
Did they need Porzingis that entire year? No. But did he end up showing up in the finals? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that a perfect situation? No. Is that like a unicorn type of situation possibly?
Yeah, because you get to. I mean, I guess you could use a Porzingis when you have a starting five that's Derek White, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown,
No problem.
Drew Holiday,
No
and,
problem.
no
problem.
That's a little.
Will that situation happen again? Nope. Sure will not.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know. He's going to end up retiring. They're going to end up trading him for maybe some sort of draft pick that's probably not even that going to be worth the actual compensation at this point. So maybe you just keep him to sell jerseys and salvage what you can out of it. But at the end of the day, Philly wasn't supposed to be here anyways. We know that.
Yeah.
We absolutely.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Is like it's not that they got swept. It's regardless.
We didn't
they
take them
weren't
remotely
They're just
seriously.
not a serious team, and they
No.
continue to not be a serious team. And the Embiid thing is done. It's dead. It's over. It's not that I don't like Embiid. That's just a fucking fact. It's just a fact.
It's over. It's flat out over. And yes, they did beat a Boston team, but they were being a Boston team that was literally two players. And then in the final game, Game 7, they didn't have one of the two players.
So Jack on Instagram says they won that series against Boston. You can say they didn't deserve to be there now. With that said, they are trash, and I'm from Philly. And it's like,
Well, then
yeah,
you
they
know.
won the series against Boston. I mean,
They did win that series against Boston.
but
That is
again,
fact.
guys, like that's like the whole thing was that Boston was supposed to be transition, and this was supposed to be your best year.
Yeah.
If you didn't win that series against Boston, which I know nobody would listen, I get it, you 7 seed versus 2 seed, but like that's kind of like that's a real moral victory there. I'm sorry, it just is.
At best.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm very happy that you guys got a little something out of it, but Philly.
Yeah.
It's not that you went into New York and not only got your brakes beat off, like this was like when basketball is just bad.
It was.
I don't know what
it
else
was
to
one
say.
of the worst. like this was an all-time bad, like absolute.
That being said, my
ass
Lakers
kicking,
are
an
about to do the
historic
exact
ass
same
kicking.
thing right now.
Totally different
It
situation.
is a different situation
No, like
entirely.
massively different.
Entirely. No, I'm agreeing with you.
Massively, yeah.
Except I did watch Game 3, and that was a fucking shit
Yeah, but
show.
it's just so not even comparable.
I agree
It's not even
completely.
comparable.
We can do the comparisons, but at the end of the day, like,
But it's
this
yeah.
was one team didn't belong there and shouldn't have even shown up by the standards that they showed up in.
Yeah.
The Knicks beat the ever-loving fuck out
It
of
made
them
them look like they were
and
playing
didn't
two
even
different
try.
sports. Like to the point where I'm like, now I don't even know what the Knicks are. Like,
Oh, and by the way, the best game they played was the game without Embiid, which they
Mm-hmm.
almost swiped that second game.
yeah,
But
and-
like, let's be real clear. I mean, if the Knicks don't go to the finals, the Knicks have no one to blame but them fucking selves.
yeah, I
They're-
agree.
they're plain and simple.
All right, so we're writing off the Embiid era Knicks. It's done. Let's put it on record.
We had
It's
a
got to be
lovely,
done.
you had a lovely go. You won an MVP.
And if
You know
he's
what?
not
You
gonna
want a gold
retire-
medalist in that country you love so much, United States.
And you know, if
Take
he's
that,
not going to
LeBron.
retire and he's going to go somewhere and like be, like you said, be a piece, be a Porzingis piece, I would love that for him. I like Embiid overall, so
Me too.
fine.
I like him too, except for when he, does his press conferences.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. So the Wizards won the lottery, Cody. The Wizards won the lottery. Now, the only reason I put this in here, quite honestly, which you're going to love, is that the Wizards are going to draft AJ Dibonsa. And he is from Brockton, Massachusetts. He's a Massachusetts born and raised man. And I've been really excited for him to end up in the league. Like, I've been
Why?
kind of
Because
paying
he's
attention.
6'9" and really good.
Yes, because he's going to be the first overall pick. Yeah. I would love something better for him than the Wizards, but, that's the way the cookie crumbles, and who knows what could happen.
The Wizards all of a sudden made a couple of moves, and also, let's be real clear, Anthony Davis, congratulations, man. I hope you get traded again, because whoever gets that is getting the lottery pick, it seems, because everywhere this guy goes, they get the lottery pick. So,
Yeah.
do you want to get traded back to the Lakers?
And I love Anthony Davis. But AJ Dibonsa, yeah, a Massachusetts guy. So I'm just genuinely really excited for that reason. I think it's one of the few years that we don't get a lot of really high level basketball players out of the South Shore. This is like places that I've been growing up. We get very few real superstar players out of that. You're from Los Angeles. This is like your whole life is like actors and famous athletes coming out of here.
Yes.
Not so much. A ton of actors in Boston that come out of Boston, but
not a lot of basketball players coming out of Southie.
no, not coming out of Brockton, Mass, which actually does have a ton of great athletes, but it's just like so that part is
What
exciting.
about Worcestershire?
Nope, Worcester.
Oh, what about Worcester?
Worcester.
Yeah, what about Worcester?
Yeah, what about it? Actually, a few of those too. Yeah. And Everett.
What about
Mass is-
Dorchester?
Not so much.
What about Gloucester?
Gloucester.
Gloucester. What the fuck are these names?
You keep trying. I'm just helping
What
you out.
are these names? What is wrong with you?
They're all either they're all either like British names. Everything in Massachusetts is either British or indigenous American. So like all of the towns are either some Native American language or
That's been like bastardized by your accent?
No, like actual.
Okay, you guys are getting it right? You're not like...
Oh no, the accent. I thought you were meaning like that.
I bet there's like an actual like lone wolf and it's just like, oh yeah, Lorna Wolfeth, yes.
Well, Massachusetts is an indigenous name, so we get that right. At least we didn't put any R's in it. That was the big thing.
No, it's like New York Italians, how they like, oh yeah, get some prosciutto. And
Yeah.
like, it drives Michelle Beadle absolutely
Does
up
it?
her fucking wall.
She hates it?
Oh, because she's born in Rome and like her mom's full on Italian. So anytime she hears it, and oh God forbid you bring up chicken parm to her.
Wait, I never
you dare.
I never told you what happened when we were talking about Stu Gotts on the podcast the other day. My mom called me afterwards and she goes, "Are you guys saying Stu Gotts?" And I was like, "Yeah, like the whatever." She's like, "That's the guy's name." She goes, "So I looked his name up because you were saying Stu Gotts." And I was like, "Right." She's like, "That's an Italian word." She's like, "It's an Italian word for dick." Like that's like a slang word for dick is a Stu Gotts. She's like, I like grew up like I mean my grandfather's first language was Italian, and so she looked it up and she's like, his actual last name is Wiener. So at some point, some like Miami dude nicknamed him Stu Gotts at like he just knew that, and apparently it got famous from Sopranos. Like people learned that the word was a phrase for a dick, and she's like, I kept trying to figure out why you guys were saying this Italian like slang swear. And I'm like, I didn't know we were.
No idea.
So anyways.
I was called a guy by what I thought was his given name.
Stu Gotts. Nicknamed after an Italian slang word for his
Dick.
last name, his actual last name, Wiener. So there you go.
you.
Perfectly normal way to transition into the Bucks listening to Giannis trade offers.
Thought you nailed that.
Bucks are listening to Giannis trade offers leading up to the NBA draft. This is something that we've known is coming, that has been speculated about
Where's
a lot.
he fit?
Here's the thing. These are who is reportedly interested in Giannis
It's the
during the
same
offseason.
names. We
Knicks,
know the Knicks.
Celtics, Wolves,
Yeah.
Lakers. And the reality is it has to be a team that's a contending type team with assets. We know that. It's, this is not going to be, there's not going to be some, low level, small market team that's going to get Giannis. This is how it always goes.
Mm-hmm.
What if you take everything out of it? We'll talk about these teams first. Let's talk about these teams first. Among the teams showing interest, Knicks, Celtics, Wolves, Lakers. Do you think he fits in with any of those teams?
There was a time I would have said the Knicks, but now I don't know how they can get them. What kind of capital do they have to trade? What are you going to do?
They gave up too much for Mikal Bridges.
You're going to have to give up your current team, which is very close to going to the NBA Finals. So I'm having a little bit of trouble understanding that one at all.
I agree.
Boston, I mean, you tell me what assets they actually have right now to trade. Because, could I see them in Boston? Absolutely can. And they did have this year where they decided to get away from them, didn't really surround with some key role players. They got back Tatum earlier. Everything you said earlier, I think, absolutely resonates. So Boston, I absolutely could see happening. Don't want it to happen, but I could totally see it happening.
According to Milwaukee, they want a young star player and several draft picks. They're not going to get Brown or Tatum. I still don't think the Celtics want to split them up. So they don't have a young star player. They have Derek White, who is not young. He's 31, 32.
Okay.
And so I just don't know that they have the,
So I got a question for you. I don't know what picks the Lakers have available to them. But they could move on from Austin Reeves.
They could.
Austin,
But is he a star player?
Not at Giannis's level.
Right.
But who is? I mean, that's
I'm saying like Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum, I could see if you're looking, you know what I mean? That style. Even if you were going to give me if you were going to try and sell me on Jalen Brunson
You'd have to give up
Anthony Edwards is not going,
drafts.
You're not giving up Anthony Edwards, right?
No.
You're not giving up somebody of that caliber. So, and if you are trading for Giannis, I imagine you're trading to pair him with a star, pair him with Luka. Great. Who are we getting back? Maybe you do give up Austin Reeves and somebody else.
Who?
I don't know. Rui? I don't
Sure,
know.
take him.
It doesn't. I know. It's so lackluster. There's nothing there. I know.
I mean, it's a great
LeBron?
idea, but that's sure.
LeBron's got a no trade. So
I mean, but isn't he a free agent anyway? So it doesn't really matter.
yeah. Is he?
I thought he was.
Yeah. Either way, he can't trade. He can't.
It doesn't matter anyways. But
he doesn't let people trade him.
It's just it's a nice idea. I'd love to have him here. No question about it. But what can you possibly give up?
So
to get
we've
him back?
basically just kind of
eliminated the three main names.
Well, so the Wolves, outside of Anthony, the Wolves have McDaniels.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you package him. I could see something like that. I could see Giannis wanting to just stay in that little pocket of the country because he actually likes being he doesn't necessarily seem like he needs to be in the mix. Going Milwaukee to Minnesota is sort of a lateral move. I guess they could package Jaden with somebody and some picks. I could see that happening, and I wouldn't hate Anthony Edwards with Giannis.
Me neither. But I also don't want it to happen because I don't want them to dominate the West. Although maybe that could be a package that absolutely can take on, say, OKC.
No one
However,
asked what you wanted, Cody.
I don't give a shit. I'm giving you what I want.
Oh my god, this guy's just like
my name is half of the show. I'm going to tell you what I want.
I'm asking you to give me great basketball insight.
There is no basketball insight. The basketball insight is who has even the pieces to trade for him.
I don't want that to happen.
I don't want it to happen. I do not want him to be there in fucking Minnesota with Anthony Edwards. That is too much power for one team to wield. That is not my team.
Oh my god. Okay, you know what? You know what's going to happen? He's going to end up in the same place they all end up.
Phoenix. They always end up in fucking Phoenix. Why do they do that? Why the fuck do they always do that?
I don't know.
And they always regret it. They always regret it. They're
don't
never
know.
happy in Phoenix. You know why? Because Phoenix sucks.
It is so depressing.
Oh, it's horrible.
It's so depressing to look at Devin Booker's all-time stats, like how good of a basketball player Devin Booker is, like truly a generational player that nobody fucking cares about.
By the way,
or
I didn't
talks
know you were
about.
going to say Phoenix. I'm so glad we said
That was
Phoenix
beautiful.
at the same
Beautiful
time.
moment for us. I love that for us on our last show together for a while.
Jesus, we're getting. Thank you for saying it for a while.
No, well, for almost 2 weeks.
Thank God we got there on our last show ever.
No, well, till Friday, I guess. But we aren't going to be together physically, so we won't be able to really like read each other's minds.
You
the
will
same
be
way.
very much missed.
I'll be 3,000 miles away.
Mocha too.
Yeah, we're gonna
miss
miss Mocha
Mocha.
as well. All right, so we just figured it out. He's going to Phoenix.
He's going to Phoenix.
You heard it here first.
No question about it. He's going to fucking Phoenix. All right, so we do have another headline.
We
it
do,
looks like.
yeah. The Cowboys versus the Giants is going to kick off Sunday Night Football in 2026. We have a couple of other games. Week 1. Here's the Week 1 primetime lineup. It
Yeah.
kicks off on Wednesday, of course. Wednesday, September 9th, when everybody wants to start watching football.
Telling you, fatigue will kick in at some point.
Seattle versus TBA. Apparently, they can't figure
I
that out.
love TBA.
Yeah.
Go TBA.
They're going to somehow get Jameis Winston to quarterback TBA.
Wasn't that a Arrested Development thing where they couldn't come up with the disease, so they named it TBD, and so they just put on the check TBD, and they'd be like, "With your help, we can make TBD a thing of the
Yeah,
past."
probably. So that's the team.
Well, I can't wait for TVA. Congratulations, TVA.
Thursday game.
What
in-
country is that in, by the way? Is
Australia.
Sweet. So the fucking team doesn't even know they're going to Australia. And NFL.
Oh, no,
Fucking,
sorry,
you're really
sorry.
outdoing yourself
Sorry,
with this
no,
one.
no, that's the Thursday night game.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
sweet
yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, sorry.
Like they haven't even told the
No.
guys they're going to Australia.
they-
That's nuts.
The Rams-Niners is in Australia. That's the Thursday night
Okay.
kickoff.
Wednesday is going to be in Seattle.
So
Okay.
Rams-Niners, great first week game. Always in on Rams-Niners,
Except
great
it's in
game.
Australia.
Except it's in Australia at 8:35 p.m. Eastern time
Mm-hmm.
on I guess Netflix? Yeah, on Netflix. Sunday, September 13th, the first Sunday night football game is going to be Giants-Cowboys. Now, here's my question, Cody.
Yeah.
When will we be released from the hell that is the New York Giants constantly being in primetime?
Never.
Why is a thing? You
Because
cannot
it's-
tell me.
One reason.
You cannot tell me that the ratings are that much better for the fucking Giants
I cannot.
than any other team.
And I know I cannot.
What do you got for me then? I need something.
Oh, I have no reason that's going to make you happy or make it suffice or satiate you. I have the reason, though.
Okay.
New York Giants.
That's it?
Yeah, get rid of the word Giants. New York. That's it. Literally, that's it. Oh, by the way, they don't play in New York. But that doesn't matter. New York. That's it. It's stupid. It's fucking stupid. So fucking stupid. I lived in New York the last 4 years. Those Giants fans are quite fickle. They are less fickle than the Jets fans. I'll give them that. But I cannot
I
stress this
actually
enough.
disagree. I think Jets fans are weirdly loyal.
They quit every year.
Yeah, they quit, but
And they announce it.
they don't quit. They watch. They just quit hoping. They watch.
What was that guy? What's the guy? Fireman?
Fireman Ed.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
He's like Kurt Schilling level of fuck him.
Yeah, for sure.
No. Listen, the Giants is
Yeah.
because they're a New York team that has a history, that has championship rings. That's the only reason. That there is no other reason.
It's hell because they're bad. They've been bad
They've
since
been
2011. They've been bad.
I agree.
They've been bad. It's hell. They don't make the playoffs. At least the Cowboys occasionally make the playoffs every other year. Like this is fucking
Guy,
exhausting.
how about this? I'll take this over the last New York fucking thing that we did because Aaron Rodgers running in with American flag as Captain America for the Jets and then tearing his Achilles on the third play.
Okay, but we got
I
that
know I
meme.
shouldn't be laughing
We got
at
that
this.
meme. That's it's an iconic meme.
Which meme?
The one of him carrying the flag that everybody uses to say like they use the meme to show something impending really poorly is going to happen.
My favorite thing is I put out something and I saw it the other day in my photos.
Yeah.
And I was really upset that it didn't get bigger. But you've seen that Jeopardy thing of what is pain with the guy.
Yes.
Okay. So I did that and I took a screenshot of what's the head coach's at the time's name? What's wrong with Tennessee Titans right now? Robert Saleh. I took a photo of Robert Saleh's face right after the Achilles tear, and he just looked.
Yep.
It's just so fucking
Iconic
miserable.
moment.
It was
Very
Come on.
Jets.
Can
It was
we
very
can we
Jets.
not at least look back now and kind of laugh? It was fucking funny.
Well, I think Were we not all laughing
It was
at the time?
fucking. No, I kind of was, but I didn't want to. I didn't want it to sound like I was celebrating an injury because I'm not
No,
celebrating
I've
the
never
injury.
celebrated an injury, but like,
fuck, was it funny? Because it's the Jets. Fuck, was it funny?
And
it was
it
so
was Aaron
fucking funny.
Rodgers.
No, but you have to understand also on top of this, and you'll understand this. I don't think other people will understand it
Okay.
quite as much. I had just been on FS1 now for 3 months. For a whole year.
Okay.
And I had just left FS1. That entire year, they forced me, gun to my head practically, forced me to talk about Aaron Rodgers and the Jets for at least 1.5 of the 2.5 hours of that show. Every fucking day. We had to break down segments of Hard Knocks. We had to break down him in the Darkness Retreat. We had to break down his new love of theater. I had to talk about Aaron Rodgers so much leading into that season that when I was not brought back to the show, I kind of laughed going, well, at least I don't have to talk about Aaron Rodgers anymore. And then the celebration of this whole culmination was that. I'm sorry, the entire year of television where I had to dedicate it to Aaron Rodgers ended with that. That's fucking funny.
I had no idea that your show was micromanaged to that level. We had a little more freedom out in Los Angeles. Sorry to hear that that's what was happening.
Boy, oh boy. The Aaron Rodgers hour.
When you look at like the fact that like I'm just already exhausted by the schedule. I'm already exhausted by all of the international games. I'm exhausted by all of it. Like I love football season. You know, I am a dork, but I do my best to counter my enjoyment of the NFL by being incredibly critical of it. But like this is, even compared to the last couple of years, really, really bad when you look at just how exhausting and pervasive this schedule is going to be and the level of different. I never know what app I'm supposed to watch. Like it's about to be really piss me off. Like I hope everybody doesn't get sick of us already talking about how much we're going to be annoyed by this scheduling because we're going to talk about it all year.
It's going to be very annoying, and yes, we're going to bring it up a lot. But there is one thing about the scheduling, and I do think we can actually do this. Do a bit of a segue into Media Corner.
Okay.
Because there is one thing that I'm very much looking forward to when it comes to the NFL scheduling, and that would be this Thursday, which will be the schedule release.
So it's over? The schedule release videos.
I'm really excited for the schedule release videos.
I can't believe it is going to be
And
bad.
man, it's going to be so bad for the Patriots,
It's gonna be
Vrabel, and
bad.
Diana Rossini.
Yep.
I'm so sorry, Diana.
Poor Diana. I know
I cannot stress this enough. You
know.
do not deserve what's about to happen to you on this Thursday.
Yeah.
But fuck, is it going to be funny? It is going to be. I know I'm going to laugh, and I know I'm going to feel bad about laughing, but fuck, some of these are going to be funny. You know how I know that? There has been a couple of things that have been posted in the last day and a half that are like guessing what their jokes are going to be, and fuck, I've laughed. I've laughed a couple of times.
I hope
They're
the
fucking
Chargers get to do theirs first, and like whatever shot they take, because the Chargers are always the best. Everybody knows
they're
that.
good.
Hilariously, they have the best social media team.
It's going to be good.
And so I hope they take their shot first and really get it out of the way, and so that they set the bar. All right, let's go to Media Corner, where we're going to kind of circle back around to Joel Embiid, because Chris Canty on his ESPN radio show accused him of using his son as a shield after the Knicks were swept. He brought his son up to the podium. We have some video of this. I want to just show you a quick clip of what he said.
It's hard. I feel like we're in a position where we figured out the knee hasn't been an issue.
He's using his son as a human shield for criticism. It's hard for the reporters to ask the hard-hitting questions when you have that ball of cuteness sitting in Joel Embiid's lap.
Super cute.
He's a very handsome young man.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. But I can't really get into it with Joel Embiid with his son right there. I hate that.
And I feel
So just so we're clear, he's suggesting that Joel Embiid brought his kid up there to shield him from hard questions?
Yep.
Well, guess what? Exactly what it is.
That's exactly what he did. It's exactly what he did. And here's the thing. I generally hate these types of critiques because I think they can be really nitpicky. I think Chris Canty actually delivered this quite nicely. He wasn't a dick at all about it. And the reality is, he's right. You just got swept, and you have your little kid up there to try to shield yourself from the hard questions of getting not just swept. We just talked about it, embarrassingly so.
Try. Successfully. This was successful.
When they started bringing kids out, It was because you'd won.
Yeah, you were celebrating.
You bring those to
you were Steph Curry. Bring your kids out.
Right. That was Riley Curry after winning a ring. You do not bring your kid out to a goddamn press conference after you've been embarrassingly swept in the second round of the NBA playoffs. It's just, you are the star player. You are one of the faces of the NBA. Like you said, this is a guy who was in the Olympics. Like, you're Joel Embiid. You're an MVP. You absolutely have to take accountability there without your little kid. And, you know, that is a really cute, adorable kid. And
Adorable.
I do not. And
Adorable.
I am not going to be weird to someone's father in front of their kid.
No.
I'm
If
not
in
gonna
fact,
do it, you know?
if Joel won that series 4-0, that kid should be right there.
Absolutely.
No problem.
If he won it in 7 games, bring the kid out.
No
but, like,
problem.
do not. Like, you lose the series, no kid. You get swept.
I agree.
Absolutely not.
So I saw Nick Wright actually. I don't even know how I saw it, but I saw Nick Wright talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think somebody took his quote, and his quote was, "There should be a new rule: no more kids in the press conference." And you know what? I think that's actually kind of fair. I don't always agree with Nick Wright. I totally agree with that. I do think that is. Listen, this is a place where people need to do their job, and unfortunately, this is still part of your job. You need to go out there and face the music sometimes. Period, stop. You're the star of the team, and this was about as weak as humanly possible. Now, did it work? Yes.
It did.
It should.
Well played, but it shouldn't
But
be-
it should never be done ever again.
So my only pushback on Nick's point is this. I do think that if we, like, let's make it definitely not after a loss, because that you're clearly trying to dodge accountability, especially if you're the star. But, like, so no kids after losses. I think the one thing that I'll push back on is no kids at all, only because we do tend to sort of invade the personal and private lives of these players a lot.
Yes.
In the media in general, we seem to be very, we feel entitled to know what they're doing, what their family situations are. We ask questions that we maybe, whether we like it or not, that, like, they don't always want to ask but have to, or answer but they have to. So if we're going to kind of insinuate ourselves into what they're doing off the court, I think it's kind of unfair to turn around and say, like, no place for kids. If you're ever going to ask somebody about their personal life off the court, then you've now opened the door for kids. But if you would like to set a standard that family is off the table anytime anything happens with someone's family, you don't ask a question about it, then fine. But kids after a win just doesn't really bother me. Kids after a win I think it's cute. I think it's fun. And nobody's getting asked interesting questions after wins. They're just not.
No more kids, and here's why. And hear me out on why. Because players, and I'm generalizing, I'm overly generalizing, but you will admit that you've heard this whenever something gets personal brought up in the press, say by some stupid pundit who goes after somebody and brings up the family. And I totally agree. That's off limits. It should never happen, period. Stop.
Yeah.
But if you're going to use your family as a shield as well, then it really presents quite a double standard.
Not as a shield, though. You're not using them as a shield after a win.
No, but you're using them in that situation. It's the press conference. I don't feel like in the press conference.
I mean, there's also
in the press room. I actually firmly don't believe
there's
your
a
family should be
better.
in there.
There's even a better argument for it, which is that, like, kids can't consent to being on camera.
Also
in front of,
that.
like, and like that's actually a better reason,
Yeah,
and something I think I could just convince myself that, like, why are you putting your kids in front of the
shouldn't.
cameras? Like, they can't, you can ask your 7-year-old if they want to go in, and of course they're going to say yes, or maybe they'll say no. But, like, if they do say yes, they're a 7-year-old. They can't really consent to understanding exactly what they're doing and putting themselves on camera in perpetuity for the internet. And so maybe that's the bigger reason.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that if that's the one that convinces you, fine. I'll pretend it's my argument.
I convinced myself.
I feel good about my arguments.
No. You got me there, though. You know, you led me down the path, and then I two roads diverged in a wood.
That's
as they say. You never heard Robert Frost?
I've never heard that specific phrase, but
You've never heard.
But it was
the
right
road
after you.
less
But you have
taken?
to understand. You said a phrase that I've often heard from my girlfriend. Oh, you got me there. Media Corner 2.
Speaking of that, I have a theory.
She says
about,
it very disappointingly.
Yeah, of
just
course,
like,
naturally.
well, you got me there.
Yeah. Theory about Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel
Are we finally getting somewhere to what I've been asking for weeks? By the way, we all have our clocks marked, right, for next week when the next Diana Rossini and Vrabel drop happens?
Yeah, we're a week out.
We're all aware that it's coming in 1 week, right?
Yep.
Just mark your calendars. 1 week, another thing will be dropped. Take it away.
Cody, your nagging question has been, you've actually yelled this. Who is doing this and why?
Who is doing it? Why? Who is benefiting? Someone wants Vrabel gone. It is as clear as day Whew! Who's doing it?
So I apologize to the person who made the video I saw this on. I don't know if he's the only person who came up with this theory. I
I can't wait to hear it.
And so if you see this video, if you debuted this theory, please let me know and I'll credit you. He said,
I'm listening.
it makes no sense. It doesn't feel like it's one of their spouses. It doesn't feel like any of them. We've talked about that. With all of the betting on places like Polymarket and Kalshi.
Oh, man, I'm listening. Holy shit, I'm listening.
Hold on. So,
Tell
if
me
you
more.
were somebody who happened to have a lot of information about
Oh,
this that
man,
you'd
this is
been
brilliant.
sitting on for a long time, and you knew and you'd been keeping this secret, then all of a sudden these betting markets opened where you could bet on just about anything like, will Mike Vrabel be fired from the Patriots? The guy who just won the Super Bowl. What do you think the odds are on a place like Polymarket or Kalshi that the Super Bowl coach just played in the Super Bowl, just represented the AFC, would be fired right after that? They've got to be pretty long odds. Maybe some of the longest odds you could ever fucking find. You happen to place a bet that he's going to get fired, and you're sitting on a lot of information that might help make that happen. What do you think, Cody?
Now, here's the deal. I don't think that's what's happening. I want to make this abundantly clear. I do not
Really?
think that's happening.
I think it might be.
However, it's pretty fucking good.
I think it might
And
actually
here's
be
why
what's
it's
happening.
good. I mean, we're not, or are we pretending that we're not watching people make out like bandits anonymously, by the way, on betting on wars with clear information that they clearly have insider information, which is tantamount to insider trading, which is not tantamount. It's what it absolutely is. It is insider trading being somehow legalized.
Yeah.
Affecting markets the way people are doing that in this situation. Say someone is affecting the market, it should be absolutely illegal, but it isn't. And because it isn't, and even so much so, the president a week ago commented on this very same situation about people making out like bandits like this in hidden markets because they're gambling on whether or not we're going to war with clear inside information. And his response was, well, the whole world's a casino. That's a frightening statement
Horrifying.
to hear out loud from
Horrifying.
anybody, let alone a sitting president.
Yeah.
So I can't stress this enough. It is a very plausible theory. My pushback, however,
Okay.
and I do think this is a reasonable pushback.
Okay, I'm ready.
That video that came out to TMZ the other day was from 2021.
Yeah.
That was before Kalshi and Polymarket really became the player-to-player betting thing that it was.
Yeah.
For someone to just sit on this knowing someday that they'll be able to play
Cody.
this market.
Oh, you sweet, sweet angel. This is because you're too good of a person. This is his friend. This is somebody who has been collecting this information as a friend, like 100%. This is somebody who has been betraying him the entire time. Like if this is that person, it is somebody who has had this information and was already compiling it for whatever, blackmail, whatever else. People are awful. People are awful people. Maybe it's an acquaintance who had too much information, but it is definitely someone who's always known and has been, I don't know, of course they didn't always plan on using it on Kalshi or Polymarket. They eventually planned on using it in some level of blackmail and hit the jackpot in this.
I'm not going to lie to you.
In this fake scenario.
It's as good
Hypothetical.
of a theory as anything I have remotely heard.
I figured at the very least,
It
it
is
is
as-
a theory better than what we've had.
it is
Because you and I
plausible.
have been lost in the sauce
It
trying
is
to figure it out.
plausible. It is logical.
Yeah.
It is every aspect about it.
It's
makes
horrifying.
sense. Horrifying as well.
So keep an eye out for anybody who makes millions out of nowhere, potentially in the New England or Tennessee area.
But I still think it's Belichick camp. I still think there's.
Yeah, see, that is wild. It's not fucking Belichick. That's crazy.
It's got to be. It's got to be
Belichick.
someone in that camp. It's got to be somebody.
It's simply not. He doesn't. He just does not have time for this.
No one's talking about Jordan all of a sudden. Have you noticed that?
Jordan?
Jordan? I haven't heard about Jordan lately.
We already weren't talking about Jordan long before this, though. She had been off the radar for a minute. We'd been gone like 8
That
months.
is fair.
without her.
That is
Yeah.
fair.
So.
Listen, that theory is as good as it gets so far.
All right.
I've not heard a better one. I like it.
Are you grateful for at least a step in the right direction of having a theory?
Predictive markets.
I know.
That's where it's at, baby.
Yeah.
Predictive markets.
Who would have known that could possibly be twisted in such horrible ways? How could we have seen that coming except for every single
it's
dystopian
not
novel
gambling.
that's ever been written?
It's not gambling.
It's a predictive
It's
market.
predictive markets. That is a completely different thing. Mocha, you know the difference between gambling and predictive markets, right?
One you can manipulate.
Yeah? What is that difference, Mocha? Titles?
Literally, the idea of a predictive market being like, I'll predict this happens and then make it happen is just so inevitable. It's so inevitable. So, like,
It's literally the plot of Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yep.
The movie that everyone's like, what a shitty Bond movie. You mean real life? You
Yep.
mean the real life Bond movie?
starting to look quite prescient, isn't it? All right, let's go over to Pop Culture Corner to round things out.
Let's do it. Let's get there.
Because I have FOMO, I never miss out on an appointment viewing situation, even if I know it's going to piss me off. So last night, I spent 2.5 hours of my life watching the GOAT roast of Kevin Hart on Netflix.
Okay.
Cody, a lot of people talking about it, especially in my corner of the internet.
I saw clips. I have seen plenty
Lots of
clips.
clips circulating, so you've seen some of who was
I am
there.
all for watching Tony Hinchcliffe sit there and quietly cry and die on the inside, which he absolutely was. Every joke about him, he looked so personally affected, which is amazing because he's so tough. He's like such a tough, like
He's an alpha
tough,
male.
smart alpha male. Like, I mean, he's so smart and strong and funny. God,
And he also doesn't give a fuck about anything, Cody.
he doesn't care. He doesn't even care.
He doesn't even
is
fucking
so
care.
tough and cool and smart with chiclet teeth now. What the fuck is going on with his mouth?
What's going on with everything above his neck? Holy fuck, he looks horrible. He looks
Jesus,
like a ventriloquist
tanned
dummy.
himself like with fucking, I'm assuming orange paint and those
Doesn't he look like a ventriloquist
fucking
dummy?
veneers. Jesus.
So-
Just waiting for somebody to fucking just turn his head all of a sudden.
I commented on someone's video talking about him where I was like, the best part of him, even the only reason I was glad he was there was because you could tell that every single person in the room viscerally fucking hates
Despises
him. Like, it's not.
It wasn't just him though. Everyone that day seemed to have hated each other.
So that was something that I took away too, which like
Yeah.
there were some obvious like real friendships like between Chelsea Handler and Kevin Hart and like a couple of his other friends there that like they clearly have a good friendship. But there was so much actual genuine hatred. And the whole point of a roast, a really good roast, is that you get people who are real life friends who actually love each other to roast each other in good fun. You might say some mean shit, but like at the end, you know everybody's close.
Yeah.
These roasts have become uncomfortable. And this one specifically, to me, was like a lot of people who were roasting people they actually fucking hate just in the name of Kevin Hart. And there were a few standout performances. I mean, you got a bunch of standout comedians there. So like, obviously there were going to be some people who were just like genuinely good on stage. Chelsea Handler did a great job. Cheryl Underwood, who's a comic legend, did a great job. Regina Hall is already incredibly funny and she did a whole bit that was funny. And then Cat Williams, who actually fucking hates Kevin
and
Hart,
mentioned it multiple times.
came out, and he's Cat Williams. He's one of the greatest stand-ups of all time. Of course he did a great job. It was also, holy fucking shit, what the fuck is he doing here? And then there was The Rock, who came out at the end and kind of stole the show at the end, because they are genuinely close in real life, cut a promo on Kevin Hart for what felt like a half an hour. You can't shut The Rock up. No one likes to listen to The Rock more than The Rock himself. Dwayne loves him some Dwayne. It was well done, but like in between, there was just a lot of uncomfortable stuff. There was a lot of like the R word being thrown around, which that being kind of reintroduced into the lexicon just feels so unnecessary for no reason.
Nah, it's just lazy.
Tony Hinchcliffe doing like some of the most 1960s racist jokes I've
it's
ever heard
embarrassing.
in my life.
It's literally embarrassing. Look, I want to make this abundantly clear. I used to love roasts until they've turned into this. This like what you said. Roasts were, we roast those who we love. This wasn't that. And last year wasn't that either. This has become
the Tom Brady one, the GOAT one.
Yeah, all
was-
this shit has just been like weird, like self-congratulatory shit.
Yeah.
And it's really like, I really don't like what's happened to stand-up comedy like at all. It's a bunch of whiny little douches that are like, we can't be funny anymore under these restrictions. No, what you're saying is you can't be funny. It means you can't be funny. You're not funny and you can't be funny because you cannot work under the restrictions of using the R word. That's literally what you need so bad to be funny. Then you're not funny.
Like
all
if
the comedians that
if
like
at any point in your roast you go, you fucking bitch.
like, and
Why-
then also
why are
in your roast scolding
roast.
scolding the crowd for not laughing at your jokes. Write better fucking jokes.
Right.
I don't know what to tell you. It means
Better.
your shit isn't there anymore, and that's okay.
Also,
you changed with the times.
The crowd was they were on their feet basically for Cheryl Underwood. So maybe you just weren't the funniest person in the room. That's what fucking happens.
And that's okay, by the way.
Right. And
but-
you have to be okay with that. Some rooms are for, listen, that room wasn't going to laugh for white people unless those white people were really bringing it.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea got a good show. Like, Chelsea did a pretty good job, all things considered. They weren't laughing at corny white man jokes.
Yeah.
So you showed up to the Kevin Hart, like it's a bunch of LA and Philly people. That's what you're going to get. And you didn't bring your fucking A game? Or you brought whatever your A game is. It happens to be absolute trash, like in Tony Hinchcliffe's case.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm actually a fan of Shane Gillis's work. I think he's funny. I did not enjoy.
He's not a good host.
That's not his role.
They need to stop trying to make that man a host.
Yeah,
he's not a good host.
He's not a host. A host innately like gets the crowd to root for him, and I will admit, what's her name has been getting away with it a little bit at the Globes.
Nikki Glaser.
Nikki done a really good job at the Globes. But I guarantee that has a shelf life too.
Yeah.
And it's not because it's bad. Like, I'll give you an example. Ricky Gervais is still my favorite Golden Globe host, and he goes out there and tears everyone to shreds.
Yeah.
But after 3 years in a row of that, all right, we need a break from. I'm like, I can use a break from Ricky Gervais, and then he came back like 4 years later and crushed again with the same shtick. But like,
I got tired. I was like, I've been sick of his shtick.
No, I have had enough. But I was like, I've had enough. Like,
right.
And I think we'll get there with Nikki Glaser, where Shane Gillis, who I think is a really funny stand-up, actually he's phenomenal when he hosts Saturday Night Live as well.
He was great on.
But hosting ain't his gig.
He
man.
like no
It's
more.
not for him.
He gets uncomfortable. He like whatever. The thing is, they found a guy, a white dude with like moderate views, and we're like, we must host everything. No one hates Shane Gillis, and it's like, yeah, but you got to do better. As far as like the entire. It's not like there weren't good jokes told. And I think when we get caught up in these things that like, there were times I laughed. There were lots of laughs that I had. Pete Davidson, I will tell you this, gave the only explanation for doing the Riyadh Comedy Festival that I was like, wait, I didn't think about that. And I'm not sure I have an argument for it. Because obviously people were giving him shit about it. He's like, how do you go to Riyadh and like take their blood money when your dad died in 9/11, right?
Yeah.
He was like, he essentially made some joke where he was like, yeah, I figured they kind of owed me some fucking money. I was happy to take their fucking money. Like, and I was like, you know what? I guess I'm not exactly in a position to tell you if if you can take your makeup money from Saudi Arabia for killing your father. Now, there were 3,000 plus other people there that might feel differently, but the reality is, fine. Everybody else? So Cat Williams was like, he goes, this is my Riyadh Comedy Festival. I'm the only one with a soul.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. I think Cat Williams is so fucking funny.
I thought
it was so funny that Netflix threw Cat Williams at Kevin Hart, said, we're going to pay Cat this money, like an exorbitant amount of money.
I thought the Chelsea joke toward, because she didn't look at Tony Hinchcliffe nearly cried after Chelsea Handler went after him, calling him basically a little bitch about, I thought you were all you little tough guys. You guys are gonna go fight in Iran, or do you guys only do that for your fucking little comedy festivals?
Do you only go to the Middle East for comedy festivals?
And that was like, and he immediately started drinking his glass, so he could be fucking hide the tears rolling down his face.
Another classic. She told another one of my favorite jokes, which is you have the
face of a school shooter,
the personality of a school shooter in the face of someone who gets shot first, or
the other way around. The other way around. Yeah.
Really good shit.
It was. Listen, I've seen some jokes. It seems great, but like, I will admit, what these
no one would roast Regina Hall, which I thought was really funny. I was like, wow, there were some weird rules in place, definitely on like, not that I wanted Regina Hall roasted. Chelsea straight up said, she's like, I'm not roasting these black women up here. I'm not fucking doing it. Like with all these pieces of shit, like right wing like assholes up here. Yeah, I'm gonna focus on you. I'm not doing that shit.
And by the way, I really don't like what comedy scene is right now. I don't like what these are, because these don't feel like comedy shows. These feel like comedies thinking they're celebrities. And it's really kind of, the whole Netflix is a joke thing, I think, is like the worst fucking thing in Hollywood.
How do you feel about this? Because there's another aspect of this that I came across on the internet, which is WWE fans whining that The Rock showed up to roast Kevin Hart and to cut a promo on him for a half an hour and do this big whole show of it, because of course he came out guns blazing, came up from like the middle of the crowd and whatever else. They're really mad that The Rock shows up to do this, but he doesn't show up to WrestleMania.
Oh my God! What did you? Guys,
Is
you
there
don't
any
even
more
like. I don't want The Rock at WrestleMania
And they
either.
always complain every time he shows up. So what do you mean?
Real quick, no. How about this? I would like The Rock to just like go away. Period.
Yeah,
He's
that
like-
ain't happening.
He's a celebrity that we've all had enough of.
By the way,
Zendaya said she's going to take a break from acting. She's scared that we're getting bored of her. No, we're bored of The Rock. We want the fucking Rock to go away.
Can you
We
tell
are
The Rock to-
tired of fucking Dwayne. No
Dwayne
more
has gotta
Dwayne.
go. Dwayne's
We're
gotta go.
done with Dwayne. Fucking Zendaya, stay, please. We
Dude.
like you a lot.
you know what's so funny too is there's a lot of people who only watch The Rock in movies, right? Like a lot of people don't know anything about The Rock from wrestling.
No, now we
They
know him
he-
as that shitty actor.
Yeah, they know him that he was a wrestler. Everybody knows that. But like, there's a lot of people who've only ever watched him act that never watched wrestling, and that's what they are.
Act.
And they're in. So like, the amount of people who didn't know that he's insane, because he cut like a.
He's fucking insane.
He
He's a
cut
nut
a
job.
like fully
No,
you know,
he's a nut job.
He's so like. The whole promo, which is what I'm going to
Have
call
you
it,
ever met a
because
wrestler
what
that
was.
wasn't a nut job?
No, but The Rock also, you know this.
No, The Rock's
has-
worse, way worse.
He has like a dark, sinister energy, right?
Oh yeah.
And it's not.
yeah.
It's and it comes out like he's a like a weird guy. He says weird stuff.
You know what it is?
He gets real.
I have a
Is
theory
this
on
microphone safe?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to say like he's some sort of like closet job or anything like that. He might be. I don't give a shit if he was.
Yeah.
I don't think that'd make someone innately weird ever, even if they were. No, he's like my least favorite type of celebrity. He's the type of celebrity that thinks they're a hero. And they go about, he almost has like a hero like syndrome to him. All his characters, they're superheroes.
Yeah.
They can't even get punched in the face in the movies.
Yeah.
He needs to be the hero. He had a show called The American Hero where he was like a reality show trying to find heroes, and I'm The Rock, and I'm going to find heroes.
That's his
He's-
persona though.
Yeah, but he believes his fucking gimmick, man. He's a
yeah.
wrestler. This dude totally
100%.
believes the
Oh,
fucking
he has
gimmick.
he's a narcissist. He
He's
has
a complete
huge-
narcissist.
Yeah. I'm talking more about the fact that like every time I see him unfiltered, he's talking about fucking someone else's wife. Like he cannot.
is?
Oh my God. All he did last night for like 15 minutes was talk about fucking Kevin Hart's wife.
What?
Like he just about how he wanted to fuck Kevin Hart's wife. Yeah.
Okay.
And this is the stuff he says all the time. Like
John Krasinski
whenever
might need to ask his wife some questions. She's done a
well,
bunch of movies with him.
she certainly has.
Just saying.
But he is always like that's like his brand of humor is like, what if I fucked your wife? That's like literally his like brand of humor when he's
Sounds
not,
like a dude that's been spending a lot of time with Vince McMahon at a young age.
Yeah, and that's fine, but it is funny when you watch him across the course of time do this like return back to the same thing. He's just sort of a maniac. Don't hate it or love it, just is what it is.
No, he's a crazy person.
He is also quite good on a microphone. You cannot say that The Rock is not
Always has been.
good on a microphone. He certainly had so much more presence than a lot of those people there. So if he has an ego the size of Texas, it wasn't going to help anything because that he did come in and like absolutely take over the room. So yeah, overall, not feeling great about the state of comedy or honestly friendship after that. I will say, I do believe that Chelsea Handler and Kevin Hart are really good friends. That's what I learned from that entire thing was that like, I actually do think they're genuinely really good friends. Not sure that he even it feels like Dwayne Johnson's always just bullying him to the point where like it actually is uncomfortable. But other than that, state of friendship, state of comedy, questionable. Cat Williams is the GOAT.
Cat Williams is great.
Yeah.
If that building came down yesterday, we would have
You know
lost-
what's so
lost-
frustrating too?
lost
Jeff
the time.
Ross was there, who's a piece of shit.
Oh,
who
by the way, I can't stress this enough. Jeff Ross is the most unfunny fucking comic who's ever lived. Continue.
and also not a good person.
No.
No,
Why?
there's not.
Because of certain 17 or 16-year-olds?
15.
Oh, sorry, 15-year-olds? Public knowledge, by the way. Google it.
Yep. And here's the thing. There was a time where Jeff Ross as a roast master made sense. Like that was like the one thing he was like, that was his lane. He
No,
was the roast guy.
It's go away.
Well, I've never liked it, but like they're trying to turn Tony Hinchcliffe into that. Here's the difference. For whatever reason, people were friends with Jeff Ross when he was at the top of this. Nobody fucking likes Tony Hinchcliffe, so they keep trying to make him into the next Jeff Ross, and it's not going to work. I don't know why they keep trying to force these people that nobody likes into this spot, and like then we have to watch everybody hate them for the next 20 years. Like it's just like It's crazy. And then
the state of comedy is
so bad, dude.
Never been worse. It's never been worse. It's never been filled. It used to be.
I wonder if they discovered someone on that.
It's just amazing. It used to be filled with rebels. Like it used to be filled with actual people with something to say.
Yeah.
And now it's just all the same people who I didn't know when comedians became the biggest victims in the world and all this nonsense. Just the amount of the thing about that I liked about comedians was like they refused to consider themselves being celebrities. They weren't. They were the outskirts of celebrity.
Well, I don't know about that. That's a little bit. I mean, you have to go back to like the 60s
No,
and 70s.
I would
for
even
that.
go in the 90s for this. I would go with the Saturday Night Live crews back then of that time. Like
Those aren't stand-ups though. Those are in
I will use
sketch.
someone like Norm Macdonald.
Okay.
I'll even use somebody like a lot of SNL back in the 90s was not only sketch comedy. There were a lot of
stand-ups.
a lot of
Yeah,
stand-ups
yeah,
back
yeah.
then. And we still get that influence,
Yeah.
but it was just, I feel like comedy was kind of a different time a little bit now. And by the way, we still have those comedians that I think that are absolutely
Yeah.
have something to say and that go out in the clubs and do their thing.
I think when Eddie Murphy became the star that he became out of SNL,
I think that's what everyone wanted to be.
I think it's
They want to be a
changed
super
the industry.
Yeah, they want to be a superstar. They
in a
don't want to be a
way
comedian.
that, like, yeah, that might have been for the worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and like, I honestly would go a step further. I think Dane Cook was the one that really fucking made it work. Like, Dane Cook was just fucking Andrew Dice Clay again 20 years later.
You can't blame Dane Cook. He was one. There was a bunch of dudes like doing that shit back then.
I know, but then more people just kept doing Dane Cook.
Yeah, that's not his fault though. I mean, we can blame Dane Cook for becoming also a creep. Why are they all creeps?
I got a question. What's with like all the dudes in Hollywood? Like everyone like looks at the women in Hollywood like can't believe she did that to her face. Has anyone seen fucking dudes in Hollywood lately?
It's bad.
Has anyone looked at some of these? Gavin Rossdale was like, I was attracted to Gavin Rossdale.
Yeah.
Have you seen what this man's face looks like right now?
Dude, Brad Pitt looks insane these
What are
days.
these? Stop it with the fucking filler,
I know. It's really bad.
dude.
Oh, have you seen Adam
Dude,
Levine?
oh my god, former sexiest man alive. Now he looks like he's wearing an Adam Levine mask.
It's really bad. They
It
always
looks like
end up looking-
Michael Myers' mask.
He looks like he's wearing a Halloween mask of his own face.
Jeez,
Bad news
terrible.
bears.
Guys.
Comedy's dead. Faces are gone.
I'm
We
not
live in
saying
the
that
house,
this
baby.
is a fucking winner and all, but fuck, just
It's our real faces.
I'm gonna let it fucking melt.
These are our real faces for better or worse.
Worse, but I'm fine.
All right,
All
Cody,
right.
the next time we see each other, it'll be over in a 2-box over Zoom.
It will be, and I'm really excited because I think when we have the distance between us
I don't know what
is
you're about
when
to
we're
say.
gonna finally be able to have a realistic and actual conversation about
don't know about
the
that.
bloody sock. You'll finally be far enough away from me.
I'm going to be in Boston, though. I'll be worse. I'll be in the place.
No, you're gonna be like, you're gonna feel the aura, and I know you. I know you. You have a conscience, and a part of you is gonna be like, you're right.
Oh, I have a conscience. You know what I always say at the end of the show, but that does not mean I think the bloody sock was fake. And if anything, what's going to happen is I'm going to have a Boston accent for the conversation because I'm going to be at my mom's house.
I can't wait for this upcoming Friday because you're going to be put in a position that you have to defend Kurt Schilling, which is amazing.
With a Boston accent.
Because you know what? Like, share, and subscribe, and also fuck Kurt Schilling.
Fuck Kurt Schilling.